Hello everyone, welcome back. Hope we're all having a great day and we're all doing well. So in this video, we're going to be taking a look at one of the most fan favorite operators in Rainbow Six Siege lore. More so on the lore side, you don't really see him have a massive pick rate in the game itself, unfortunately, despite being quite a great operator in my opinion. But not only is he a fan favorite in the Rainbow Six community, he is also a massive icon in gaming in general. We are of course talking about the legendary Sam Fisher. Now just want to quickly say before we continue with this video, if you haven't subscribed already, then be sure to do it. It helps massively, it's free, and if you end up not liking me in the future, you can always unsubscribe. So to me, Sam Fisher has always been a really interesting operator to have in Rainbow Six Siege. He serves way more than just being a cameo. He's been a pretty prominent character in the lore ever since his introduction in Operation Shadow Legacy, yet there's still so much of his current story shrouded in mystery, which led him into joining Team Rainbow and where his story is going to go. So when Sam Fisher was first initially revealed for Rainbow Six Siege, a lot of us just saw it as a way of Ubisoft getting a very known character to help boost the popularity of Rainbow Six Siege. And yes, that is one of the reasons Sam Fisher was introduced into Rainbow Six Siege. But as we go on to learn, this wasn't just like a little cameo for popularity like other games would have him in, such as Ghost Recon. Rather, it's the next step in Sam Fisher's story. It's not just a cameo, this is where the character is with his story going forward. And they jump straight into setting up his story with the release of Operation Shadow Legacy and the Battle Pass, where we have a little lore description about the story happening at the current time with the introduction of Sam Fisher. And honestly, it leaves a lot more questions than answers. So what this description says is, I can usually tell when I've made an enemy. This time, I don't know who's after me or why. I've been on the run before. Anyone who helps me is a target, but something tells me this group can handle themselves. Of course, talking about Team Rainbow. They call it the program. I see some fresh faces, along with a few familiar ones. I'll make myself useful whilst I'm here. I'll teach them some new tricks, maybe some old ones too. Welcome to the class of Zero. And with this little lore description, we learned that the reason why Sam Fisher joined Team Rainbow wasn't just for fun. He didn't just want to become an operator to help everyone, but there was an unknown enemy out there who was after Sam, and Sam seemingly doesn't know who this is, or what their intentions are, and why they are doing it. That is when director of Team Rainbow at the time, Harry Pandey, offered Sam asylum in Team Rainbow, giving him the alias Zero. And as I'm sure all you guys know by now, Sam will take a higher position above all the other operators, and become the first member of the Rainbow Operations staff, and essentially work as an instructor for operators, as well as still being one himself. And we now know at the current point in the lore, after the death of Harry, the formation of the squads, that Sam is part of the ghosteyes squad, which is ran by Kaze. And although Sam does fit well in Team Rainbow, and it's clear that this is where he is going to be for the foreseeable future, there is still one glaring question which has been left unanswered ever since his introduction back in 2020. Who was this unknown enemy that was strong enough to put someone like Sam Fisher into hiding? And I feel like there's three primary outcomes of what this could be. The first of which is that it's purely no one, and they just needed an excuse to put Sam Fisher into Rainbow Six Siege, and this was the simplest way of doing it. But I think Ubisoft has shown by now that they're pretty good at setting up a lot of the story and having all the stuff have reasons behind them. So I honestly doubt that's going to be the case. I definitely do think the character who put Sam Fisher into hiding is probably going to be revealed one day, whether that is in Rainbow Six Siege or in like a separate game like a new Splinter Cell game. Which kind of leads on to the second theory, is that they will get revealed, and this will probably be a setup for a Splinter Cell game in their future. We do know that they are remaking the original Splinter Cell games, and it would make sense to maybe continue that story after they have done the remakes, where we've had the remakes and they'll make an entirely new story, and that game will end with Sam Fisher being overpowered by this unknown enemy, and it will eventually lead him into Team Rainbow. Or could the enemy which Sam Fisher was hiding from this whole time, which he didn't even know like whose identity was Deimos? I mean, Sam did join Team Rainbow during the time where Harry was acting as director, so I can assume that Deimos was definitely still in the background at that time, kind of plotting against Harry and doing whatever he was doing before the many years before he introduced himself. Of course, we're still yet to learn a lot about Deimos' past and even his identity, but that could definitely bring this story full circle, especially having Sam Fisher being involved in Team Rainbow because of this villain. It would just link the operators even closer to Deimos, which makes him such a great villain, because one of the major things he succeeded at is exploiting the relationships of the operators themselves to get the upper hand. And I do have another theory, but this is like theory inside of a theory, so I don't know if I will go too far, but if you guys saw my video where I theorized that the real identity of Deimos was a guy by the name of Wolfe, who was the acting director of Team Rainbow during the cancelled video game known as Rainbow Six Patriots. Whether that was canon or not, we don't know yet. Nomad from Ghost Recon would probably argue that it is. It's an entire theory. Definitely go check out that video. That's probably one of my favorite videos I've made regarding Rainbow Six lore. But let's say that theory is true, and again, this is a theory inside of a theory. Let's say that Deimos is Wolfe. Wolfe is said to have had a background in the Navy SEALs. Someone else who had a background in the Navy SEALs was Sam Fisher. And by the sound of Deimos' voice, he doesn't doesn't sound like a young person, and Sam Fisher is getting up there in age. So what if Sam Fisher and the real identity of Deimos, again theorizing that it's James Wolfe, might not be, this is a theory. Let's say they worked together in the Navy SEALs, they went their separate ways. James Wolfe would later go on to become the director of Team Rainbow. The events of Rainbow Six Patriots would happen and he'd lose his title and be dishonored. And along this time, he could have made an enemy of Sam Fisher, and Sam probably doesn't even know it. So that would then give Deimos a background with Sam Fisher and a background with Team Rainbow, and with Sam now being in Team Rainbow, that would just give him even more of a villain role, since he would have that embedded background with both Sam Fisher and Team Rainbow. I definitely do think it would be quite nice for Deimos to be the villain which Sam Fisher was running from, because it just brings everything full circle and it does tie up some loose ends. Because let's be honest, the story of Sam Fisher running from this unknown enemy was a story that was set up by the writing team of Rainbow Six Siege. I can imagine that as a story arc which they would like to finish themselves rather than it being spun off into something different. It could be like that, but for overall story arc of Rainbow Six Siege as a title, I think it makes a lot more sense to keep that arc of Sam Fisher confined to this game. I'm not saying it wouldn't be cool if they made an entirely new Splinter Cell game which would set up this unknown villain. That would be something I would 100% be down for, but in my personal opinion, this is an arc for Sam Fisher which the Siege writers created, and I definitely think they are going to be ones to potentially finish it, or at least explain it a bit more. But just imagine if that was Deimos, and how cool that reveal would be at like a new season reveal. You'll have like an animation, you'll have Sam maybe sitting down talking to a brand new ghosteyes operator. This ghosteyes operator might have some intel, or the team learns some intel about Deimos, and this is when Sam starts putting two to two together. And then you cut to a bit back in time before Sam joined Team Rainbow. He's out on a mission, and then we see like Deimos emerge, and we see Deimos best Sam in a 1v1 fight. Because that's something I really hope they do. I really hope we do see a 1v1 face-off, maybe even just a fist fight or like a knife fight between Sam and Deimos. Because I think if they want to show the raw strength of Deimos, because a lot of time we've seen him, all he's done has been setting up traps. If they want to see how he can take a fight in person, putting him against Sam Fisher and potentially winning would be something massive. And that wouldn't be them nerfing Sam Fisher as a character for plot sakes, that would just be showing how strong Deimos truly is and how skilled he is. Because as we know canonically in the story, Sam is getting older. He's getting a bit of arthritis. I mean, he was using Finka's nanobots to help boost his body a bit to keep up with the other operators. Yeah, he's an insanely skilled fighter, but he is getting old. His body isn't what it used to be. So I can just imagine Deimos beating him in a fight, not killing him, Sam managing to escape, but definitely beating him in a fist fight would do absolute wonders for the character of Deimos, and I think that'd be something that'd be really cool, and I really do hope that is something that they do. But will we ever truly get the answer of who Sam Fisher was running from, which eventually led him into joining Team Rainbow? We might not. This truly could be one of those things that they just leave open and never answer. But for me personally, on an overall story aspect, I do wish it was Deimos. Because that's quite a strong story aspect if it was Deimos trying to eliminate Sam Fisher, which would eventually lead Sam Fisher into joining Rainbow, which would therefore make Rainbow stronger. Hopefully this is something we learn in the near future. We probably won't learn that until we get another ghosteyes season, which is probably going to be a decent while away. We just had one for Solace in Operation Solar Raid, that was a ghosteyes season. So honestly, we probably aren't even going to get another ghosteyes season until year 9. I could be wrong about that, but I have a feeling that we aren't going to get one for a little while. But of course, the future is unknown, and we're going to have to wait to see whatever gets announced. And so, at the current point in time, 3 years after his introduction into Rainbow Six Siege, we still do not know who the unknown enemy was that pushed Sam Fisher into going to hiding. Again, I'm hopeful that we'll get that answer in the near future, but I imagine Ubisoft is going to be focusing on the current point in the lore rather than dwelling on the past. But if it is Deimos, you know, that would kind of come through a circle, and it would probably make a lot of sense. And so guys, I extend the question to you: who do you think the unknown enemy which Sam Fisher was running from that pushed him into joining Team Rainbow actually is? Do you think it is Deimos? Do you think it is a brand new character entirely that we probably won't learn? Or do you think this is something that they're going to be saving for a separate Splinter Cell game? Really interested to hear your thoughts, so be sure to drop a like on this video if you did enjoy, dislike it or not, subscribe if you're new, be sure to check out all the videos we have been making on the brand new operator Fenrir, by the way, absolutely insane operator. We take a look at the new cinematic, and we also took a look at this operator's bio and backstory, probably one of my favorites. He has extremely strong ties to Deimos, and at this current point in time is probably one of my most favorite well-written operators in the game, so again, be sure to check that out. And yeah, be sure to stay tuned for the future of Rainbow Six Siege lore. The next bit of lore we're probably going to get is going to be the battle pass coming in Operation Dread Factor, so hopefully we're going to learn a lot of stuff about that, so I am excited. So have an incredible rest of your day, guys. I love you all. Stay safe. Peace.